Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Now today I'm doing my weekly Q&A, so let's get right into this video. What is your favorite restaurant? Where is it located? Don't really know if I have a favorite, super favorite restaurant. I like a lot of the buffets are nice. I like the Chinese buffets. I like Chinese food in general. I like Arby's, even though I don't really have an Arby's near me. I have to drive an hour to get to Arby's, but I have a lot of places I like to eat, but I don't really think I have a absolute favorite restaurant, really. It's kind of just whatever I go and feel like having, really. Why does Gohan's power continue to deplete due to the lack of training? When his potential was unlocked, at least he should stay the same strength he was when he unlocked it, but keeps getting weaker due to lack of training. Why? And who are your top 5 favorite characters in Dragon Ball? Well, I think that it does make sense that he depletes, but I think that the problem is that he's depleting at a unreasonable rate. Really, right now, he was Mystic in Battle of Gods, or whatever you want to call him, Ultimate Mystic, potential unlocked. He had that in Battle of Gods, and then as you guys have seen from even the trailer on Resurrection F, he's just Super Saiyan now. So it's a very sporadic deplete, and it's very unusual. My top 5 characters, wow, I should probably go number 1 to number 5. That'd be much easier to do off the spot. I've actually done a video on this, but I think that video is a little dated. Number 1 would be Goku. 2 would be Cell. And this is going from my favorite to my least favorite, in terms of the list at least. Goku's number 1, Cell would be number 2, then Vegeta, Adult Gohan, and then I'd say maybe Future Trunks. Okay. Base Goku, Battle Gods versus Super Perfect Cell. I don't think it's close. I think Cell would mop the floor with him. Okay, now this is a good question. SSJ2 Teen Gohan versus Dabura. I actually think that Dabura could take this fight. It'd be an absolute handful. He would not win it easily, but he does have a spit. Don't forget this. But Dabura's power, I think people undercut Dabura sometimes, and even I've done it in the past. Actually, Dabura is actually more than likely stronger than Super Perfect Cell. Because when Goku's comparing Dabura to Cell, he's more than likely talking about Super Perfect Cell. It would make sense, especially due to the fact that Goku had sent Super Perfect Cell's energy, so he would be comparing him to that Cell, I would think. Aside from that, you know, he compares him to Cell, so that means he's around Super Perfect Cell's power. That's already pretty strong compared to Gohan. Not only that, but when Dabura uses his Fire Breath, Goku says, oh, he's a magic user. I guess he's a lot stronger than I thought he was. So that kind of puts Dabura above Cell in general. So I think Gohan would probably lose this fight. He'd have his hands full, definitely. The only way I could see Gohan winning is if, you know, because he'd still be somewhere around Dabura's power, though, I guess. But Dabura has his sword. He has his spit. And I know some people are going to argue, well, Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 1. Some people even think he's Super Saiyan 1 when he fights Dabura. But Gohan, as an adult, fought Dabura and did it pretty good. But Dabura wasn't really trying at that time. He was still holding back some power. It was more clear in the anime that he was doing that. But Dabura was holding back some power. So I think that Dabura definitely I really do think he could beat Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan. That's just my opinion. Just based on how strong he'd be. And he has all these techniques. I don't think Gohan has anything that's going to give him trouble other than maybe a very powerful Kamehameha. That's just what I think. Maybe you guys think differently. Let me know in the comment section down below. Why didn't Goku and Vegeta kill Frieza when he was in his first form? Idiots. The moment they went SSJ got SSJ, he should have punched Frieza in the heart and not let him go golden. Well, I guess that's not really spoilers or anything, because everyone's seen from the trailers that he has his first form, and he does have the golden form, but it's just writing, man. And it's also a sense of honor. Like, it's a sense of honor between fighters in a way. You know, that would be very out of character for them to do that. It's just how the series is written. Extend your Q&As, please. Well, I can do extended ones here and there, but It's all about time management. That's why I kind of keep them shorter, 20, 25 minutes. Also, it's much more enticing for people to click on them on my channel when they don't say that they're like a million hours long, if that makes sense. But I can do longer ones here and there. It's just about finding the time to do that. Teen SSJ2 Future Trunks versus Semi-Perfect Cell. Teen Trunks? I don't even think he could beat an android because, well, it depends if you're going off the manga or not. Because the manga, Teen Trunks. Now, wait, hold on. If we're talking about younger Teen Future Trunks, the one was training with Gohan. That Trunks was fighting Gohan as a Super Saiyan, and Gohan was easily blocking his attacks in his base form. So I think that Trunks could not even beat an android as a Super Saiyan 2. The anime one's different story. I still don't think he could beat Semi-Perfect Cell, but an android, I still wouldn't think he could beat one. It's just, he just was very, very weak. So, okay. Superman versus Direwolf. Gotta give us one Superman. I'm sorry, man. Bulma is an SSJ god, SSJ. Blue hair, blue eyes, and eyelashes. Well, you got me there. There's really nothing to counter that, except in the manga, Bulma's hair is purple. So that means she's an SSJ GSS3? Who knows? Female Whis versus, or Whis, I don't know why I said Whis. Female Whis versus Mystic Vegito. Mystic Vegito? The female Whis could be as strong as Oolong for all we know. SSJ3 Goku post SSJ God versus SSJ God SSJ Goku. Well, we don't really know what that would have done if you went Super Saiyan 3 against, you know, after going SSJ God. So I still would give this one to Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku. That's just what I would think. We don't really know if going Super Saiyan 3 would have increased his power. I would think that he would have done it if it would. Godly SSJ is my way of saying SSJ God SSJ, because SSJ God SSJ is SSJ with God Key. That's actually not a bad name for it, Godly SSJ. It's not a bad name. It's better than Pure Super Saiyan God that Quaman calls it, because Pure Super Saiyan God isn't even close to what the form is. I don't understand how someone can call it Pure Super Saiyan God, because if they really want to go as far, this isn't exactly spoilers for the movie, it's just the way the dubbing is done. But Goku's voice in the dub, at least for the English, is a little bit more rough and not as calm, so it wouldn't even really necessarily be pure. I think he, I mean, it's hard to say though, it's just the way they did the dubbing job, I guess. But it's definitely not pure Super Saiyan God. How strong would Mystic Vegito be if he went SSJ God or SSJ God SSJ? I don't know how strong Mystic Vegito is, so I can't really answer this. It's impossible to say. We don't even know if it would do anything to him going Mystic. What if Vegeta and Goku had more potential than Gohan did, and they hypothetically become Mystic Vegeta? How would they fare against him? Whis, Golden Frieza, God Goku, and Vegeta. Well, I guess if you're saying that if they had more potential than Gohan, they'd mop the floor with them. It wouldn't even be close. They'd mop the floor with all those characters that you named off. Thoughts on Forever World? Spreads misinformation. It's kind of sad because he's so big, but yeah, he spreads misinformation, and I never was a fan of that. I actually used to watch him, but he just spreads too much misinformation, and he pretty much carries on about the littlest things and doesn't really know what he's talking about. So I don't really watch him anymore. That's my thoughts on Forever World. Will you go to college? It's possible I will in the future, but right now my focus is kind of this whole YouTube thing, get this underway. I'm 65 years old and watch DBZ. Is that bad? I mean, it's probably if I live to 65, that'd probably be me. So not really. PS4 versus Xbox One. What should I get? I prefer Xbox. It depends on what you want from exclusives, because right now I don't think PlayStation has enough exclusives that interest me to want to get one outright. I will be getting one later in the year just to have it. Xbox One, you know, we got Halo, Gears of War is coming. We got a ton of games like Crackdown coming. To be quite honest, a lot of the best exclusives aren't even out yet. But we got a lot of games coming. Sunset Overdrive was awesome. I know a lot of people didn't actually like it. I thought it was great. Like I said, a lot of the games are still coming out, but we got Forza still. It's all about what you prefer. Do you like Halo and Gears of War, or do you like Uncharted and Killzone, I guess? But I prefer Xbox, and I think the online functionality is better. I always like the online functionality on Xbox more. But yeah, that's not really a question for me. I don't really go in depth with games to that when it's coming to from a console perspective. I can discuss games for hours and hours, but when you want me to compare a console that I don't even own, it's kind of hard. I just went with Xbox One because that's always what I've done. And if you're really worried about graphics, just get a fucking computer. Super Boo versus General Rildo. Now, I think Super Boo could beat Rildo because Rildo, what I would imagine is Goku's comparing him to Kid Boo. So I would think that Rildo would lose to Super Boo. That's just my opinion. People say that Goku had to go Super Saiyan to beat Rildo. He didn't really have to go Super Saiyan. He just went Super Saiyan to impress Rildo. Really, that was what it was. It was more clear in the Japanese subs because the English dub for GT is butchered compared to what the subs are. They're even more inaccurate than the Z dub, so it's pretty bad. Thoughts on Chris Smoove? Don't know who the fuck it is. Those are my thoughts. Best Dragon Ball Z saga. That's a video topic, don't worry. SSJ Gotenks versus Fat Boo. I would think that Gotenks could beat Fat Boo. Definitely post-training, but pre-training it's questionable. Goku was pretty confident he could, so I think that he could. He'd be stronger, I think. Whether or not he could completely annihilate Boo, that's a completely different question, but I think he definitely would be stronger than Fat Boo. And then again, Goku never really saw Fat Boo angry, like truly angry, so that's another thing. Is Vegeta still the Prince of all Saiyans if he married Bulma, and if so, does that make Vegeta or Trunks a new prince? Technically speaking, yes, but Vegeta does still consider himself the Prince of all Saiyans. Ninja Murasaki versus Mr. Satan. Wow, I think that that's very difficult to say because I feel like the sword for Murasaki would really give Mr. Satan some trouble. But I just feel like, well, at least my memory, I think that it sounds weird. And if you're going off of filler, I definitely think that Mr. Satan would win. But I think that, yeah, I'm just going to give it to Mr. Satan. Actually, as a matter of fact, Mr. Satan beats all of these right here. All of these, Mr. Satan wins. Because he is a god, don't forget, guys. He is a god. Happy versus Poir. I don't know who Happy is, so as much as I hate Poir, I have to give it to Poir by default. I fucking hate Poir, but pardon my language. I hate Poir, though. Hate him. Her. Can't remember. It was a he. Damn it, Kwame did a video on this. Anyways. Jalal Fernandez versus Kid Go. Okay. I remember stating in the previous Q&A that I don't know who Jalal is, and I still don't. So I'm going to give it to Goku. I don't know who Jalal is, and I don't really have any interest in looking it up. Don't know who Jalal Fernandez is. What if Goku and Vegeta fused on Namek somehow? Would they be able to defeat Frieza as being fused without being Super Saiyan? At their peaks, like when they had the Zenkai boost, yeah, they definitely could, actually. I definitely think that they would be able to. Just had to cut out a little bit because of spoilers. I'd prefer it if you guys didn't ask spoiler Resurrection F questions on the Q&As. Just for the people that are going to see them when I do my Q&A videos, that's all. Then again, it's partially my fault for not going through the questions beforehand. Anyways, Part 2. Oh, okay, I guess I'm supposed to do this. Part 1. A man... Well, I'll actually answer this one real quick. It's in the middle. Do you think Battle Gods will be up to 10 episodes and Resurrection F will be up to 10 episodes as well? I think that's a pretty good size for each arc. Definitely is about... That sounds about right. Maybe 10 to 12, yeah. A man and his wife are having sex. They're going in at it hot and heavy. Suddenly, they hear a noise, and it's their son, Timmy, standing in the door. Timmy is shocked and runs out the room. The dad says, I'll go talk to Timmy. Okay. He goes to Timmy's room, opens the door, and Timmy is giving it hot and heavy to Grandma. Father says, oh my God. And little Timmy says, not so funny when it's your mother, is it? Jesus Christ. The things you see on the internet, folks. The things you see. Do you think we will see another fight between Goku and Vegeta? I think it's possible. I think there can be some more stuff capitalized on this that I kind of want to save for the future. You know what I mean? Do you think Battle of Gods will be up 10 episodes and questions cut off? I guess it was just the same person I was talking about before. I guess. In Dragon Ball Super, do you think we will see Goku get terrifying of a new enemy the same way Vegeta was terrifying of Beerus? Well, Goku was scared shitless of Super Boost, so we kind of already saw that. So, I think it's possible we can see another enemy like that, or a foe. I believe that base Gotenks post-Rosat SSJ are stronger than SSJ Gotenks pre-Rosat, and that is stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Because of the context, the manga flowed the way through Piccolo's reaction. Do you agree? I agree with what you're saying, but I understand exactly the point you're making, because Piccolo was so shocked and he was confident that Gotenks could have beaten Buu pretty much without even... He kind of implied, like, without turning Super Saiyan. But it's just so hard to believe that Gotenks is that strong, you know what I mean? Like, for him to have gotten that much strong, does that mean he would be, like, hundreds of times the strength of Goku as a Super Saiyan 3? And I just can't see that, you know what I mean? It's just very, very hard to believe, but I understand the exact point you're trying to make. I definitely do. Just to clarify, this for everyone, Goku can be beaten by Lelouch can be beaten by Yagami can be beaten by Alucard. I don't know what all this is. Can be beaten by Goku. There's no such thing as the strongest anime character. There's someone in another anime that can beat them. Well, I'm pretty sure Goku's not even close to a strong anime character. There's a bunch of anime characters stronger than Goku. It doesn't matter if he's the strongest, so you know. Why do you constantly continue to bring up GT? It is not canon. It will never be. Just because it has Dragon Ball name attached to it doesn't mean it has any credibility. As much as it got right, which was rarely, it got everything else wrong. You give it way too much praise. I fucking love GT. I can talk about it if I want. I don't think it matters, and I definitely don't need you questioning why I bring up GT. It's not canon. It doesn't fucking matter if something's not canon. The Dragon Ball movies, most of them aren't canon, but you know, a lot of them are fucking awesome, so doesn't really matter to me, to be quite honest. That's the one thing that's bothered me the most on YouTube, is when people question me for bringing up GT. I like GT. I don't care if it's not canon. It doesn't need to be canon. I can bring it up. It has a little bit of credibility to some extent, not comparing things to the actual story, but when discussing certain characters, as you know, maybe comparing Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to Beerus and Whis, as I did in the video. People say it doesn't matter, GT's non-canon. GT is still an official part of the franchise, though. Even though it's not a part of the official story any longer, it's still part of the franchise, and I can talk about it if I fucking want. So, that's the answer to your question. Now everyone's going to be saying I was an asshole, and you know what? I was being an asshole right there. That's fine, because I felt like being one. Because that bothered me. Does geekdom really have a big D? Not really a question for me, necessarily. You might want to ask him yourself. Favorite anime besides Dragon Ball? I have a couple that are probably up there. I really like Desert Punk. That was one that I think a lot of people actually didn't even watch that necessarily, but I'm not entirely sure. There's a stupid one, Rosario plus Vampire. It's not one of my favorites, but I enjoyed it. It was dumb. It was fan servicey. I don't know. Desert Punk, Yu Yu Hakusho. I didn't even finish. I mean, there was a couple that I had watched. I haven't really seen too many in recent years, though. As I've said before, I'm trying to get around to them, but it's very difficult. What if Frieza sodomized Dende with his tail? How would this affect the series? You wouldn't see Dende being Guardian Earth. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Opinions on famous YouTuber, pro gamer Matthew Hay Hog, aka Optic Nadeshot. I don't know who that is. I know a lot of those clan guys for the MLG stuff. They have those personal channels, and they kind of all seem like douchebags. So if he's anything like them, I don't like him. Okay. Trunks versus Yajirobe. Who's a better swordsman? It's not even close. It's going to be Trunks. Oh, jeez. I'm going to end it off on this one because I'm not continuing on. Marry, fuck, kill. Kate Upton, Jennifer Lawrence, Kylie Jenner. I thought it was Caitlyn Jenner. Well, kill Caitlyn Jenner because it's... Wait a minute. Kylie Jenner? Is that a different person? I don't fucking know. I'll kill her anyways. Oh, jeez. Marry Jennifer Lawrence because I don't think she's as attractive as everyone else says. I don't think she's as attractive as Kate Upton. And I'd fuck Kate Upton. But if I'm married to Jennifer Lawrence, am I allowed to fuck her? Because I'll marry Kate Upton and then just fuck her. I don't know. You can flip-flop those two whether, but that's been the Q&A, guys. And yes, I lost 11 times to Kwame. Jesus, I did. I did lose to him, okay? The thing is, guys, that he had a 1-bar internet connection. How is that fair to me? I don't understand how that's fair at all. 1 fucking bar connection. I swore a lot in this Q&A. I guess I'm a little bit on edge today. I had a cappuccino. That's probably the reason. Anyways, guys, that's been the Q&A. I'd like to thank y'all for watching this, and I'll catch you later.